Welcome to another Xero tutorial from Scale Suite. In this example, we are going to show when a customer overpays and how you handle this in Xero. There are going to be many times where you might by mistake have a customer that pays you another couple $100 or $1,000 extra. This happens quite frequently for some clients because some businesses don't have advanced payments processes. In this case, generally what happens is that when we receive a payment from a client and they paid too much, we typically don't record all of the revenue and we make sure that we keep it aside for when the customer asks for this back or we pay this back, and we can prompt them to say, "You overpaid this by this amount." When they do, we can offset that amount in Xero. In this example, we've got $1,000. And let's say in this case, it was Cubeland that paid us, but actually was supposed to pay us $495, but paid us almost double. What we will do is we will allocate this Cubeland invoice to fully pay down this, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do a receive money as a new transaction. Here we can allocate the overpayment, so you'll see that the $495 has been allocated. Then what we are going to do is we are going to go to the Cubeland overpayment, and then we're going to have a separate account which is going to be customer overpayment. One thing to note is that with an overpayment, there is no GST on this. So if you do actually put GST on this, then that means that you have to pay this to the ATO, and given it's not actually related to an invoice or a legitimate amount that we actually are making as sales, we don't actually have to withhold GST on this. So make sure it's BAS excluded, and then what we'll do after that is save the transaction. This is going to mean that we've got the invoice fully allocated and the overpayment allocated as well, which equals 1,000, and the total is matched. Then we're going to reconcile it. And what you can do is you can actually see in your balance sheet that there's going to be this amount that is just sitting there that the customer owes back. So if I go today, I'm going to see that there's now this customer overpayment line item for $500, and then it is sitting there. So as soon as you pay this back to Cubeland, you can offset this to zero out the same account. Thank you for that. And we really appreciate you watching our tutorial. Have a ripper day ahead, legends.